Welcome back, everyone, to another WandaVision episode breakdown. So, I'm sorry that this video came out a little late. I was very busy this weekend, but this episode was amazing, and for once, it does not look like a sitcom. Anyway, so let's get started. I'll do a brief recap. So this episode has a lot of time jumps, and it's a little confusing. So I'll explain this right now. I watched the episode twice, and yeah. So Monica gets undusted and then she figures out that Maria Rambeau died, and then we also figure out that Maria was the one who found its sword. As you can see, there's a sword logo right there. Then uh, Monica goes to investigate what happened to Westview, and then she pretty much gets sucked in. And this helicopter, she uses this drone, and this drone is the same one that was used. Then she gets sucked in, and then after the beekeepers were used to find Monica, which my theory was right because remember, if you remember earlier on, I said that the beekeepers might be using these sewers of Westview to get into the town to figure out what's going on. So yeah, so they used that to get in, and this is the beekeeper. I think I heard his name was Agent Franklin, but yeah, and he's the one who sadly gets pushed out by Wanda. But yeah, so then Darcy Lewis shows up, and she's just there to basically do the same thing as the beekeeper, except like figure out like what's happening in Westview, and then she and Jimmy Woo team up to try to figure out what's going on. So Darcy is the one who's watching all these episodes, and Jimmy Woo pretty much says this line. He says one of the best lines in this. In my opinion, this is my favorite line. He pretty much says, so the universe created a sitcom starring two Avengers. Yeah, it was really confusing. So yeah. So it was actually Darcy, the one who was watching it. So the episodes. Now I'm gonna explain the time jumps now, right now. So the first scene is this happens during Endgame because this is right after Hulk snaps his fingers. Then this is also in the same scene. Then WandaVision takes place 3 weeks after. So actually, I'm pretty sure WandaVision takes place before WandaVision. So WandaVision takes place 3 weeks after Endgame. So it actually takes place before Spider-Man: Far From Home. But yeah. Then you have Maria Rambeau forming sword, and then you have this case where Monica gets sucked in. This is in episode 1 of WandaVision. This is also in episode 1. This is in episode 2 because this is when Geraldine, well, her fake name. This is when Monica is like meeting Wanda at the swim pool, and then this one they're investigating. Then this is in episode 3 where Monica gets figured out. Then this is also in episode 3. Then you have then after that. So this episode doesn't really like move the plot forward. It's more like explaining what happened. But yeah, though. So the three new characters to show up. Well, actually, this person is not new, but Darcy and Jimmy Woo. So if you remember, Jimmy Woo was the FBI agent who was kind of like keeping Scott Lang in check. So you got to remember that. And because if you remember, Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place in San Francisco in the year of 2018 before Thanos snaps his fingers. Then then Darcy Lewis is from the Thor movie. She's from the first two Thor movies. She was the person who was helping Jane Foster in like the first two Thor movies. But I can understand if you forget it or if you didn't even bother watching Thor: The Dark World. But yeah, it really did suck. So yeah, then Monica Rambeau, you obviously know her because she's from Captain Marvel. Now some people think that she might actually get her powers from Wanda, which could be true, but I don't know though. But to be fair, Monica Rambeau is actually one of the first people who held up the title of Captain Marvel without having anything to do with the Kree or the Skrull. Or with the Skrulls, but yeah. So here's some Easter eggs. So during the Sword headquarters, Monica is talking to somebody. I think his name was like Tyler or something, and I think he was actually one of the people who didn't get blipped, or that was like the term in the MCU. So he mentions artificial intelligence and nanotech. It's so obvious. It has to do with Tony Stark. Then also this drone that Monica uses right here is the same one that actually gets, for some reason it turns red, but I don't know though. But there's still the sword logo, so you got to remember that. Then Jimmy Woo calls her Captain Rambeau, which is obviously a reference to her in this scene. But yeah, if you notice now, uh, if you notice, Jimmy Woo, the reason why this takes place in episode 2 is because Wanda is because this is so when Jimmy Woo in this scene is saying, Wanda, can you read me? Who's doing this to you? That is literally during the same scene, but yeah. So Monica is one of those people who didn't get dusted. Her mother died. Then 3 weeks after that, she did with that. So what's really confusing about WandaVision is WandaVision takes place before Spider-Man Far From Home, which that doesn't make sense at all because okay, so I'm gonna explain it. So if you remember, in Spider-Man Far From Home, there's actually a time jump, and okay, so you have to remember. So Endgame ends in 2023. So yeah, then Spider-Man Far From Home takes place in 2024 because you remember all the students they had to restart the whole school year again because remember Peter, MJ, and Ned they all got blipped, so you have to remember that. So Monica would have already been dealing with Wanda way before that. So that's really weird, but that was actually something I realized, and it was really confusing also. So it turns out Darcy was the one who was watching the episodes because you can tell, and so yeah, Darcy's also made fun of a lot in this episode for some reason because nobody can seem to really take her like everybody else is like taking her too seriously except for Jimmy Woo, but yeah. So yeah, so the FBI Agent Woo, he does interact with some of the characters though. Now I think what's gonna happen is in episode 6 is probably when during that Halloween episode in the trailer because you gotta remember there was a there was a Halloween event during episode 6 and we never saw any of that during now, so it's probably going to take place. Also Vision in one of the promos or scenes, Vision asks what is outside of Westview. So and then we also get a pretty big reveal that Vision is still dead. He didn't come back to life, like pretty much Wanda was thinking that Vision was dead, but yeah. So Vision is dead, and there was this one promo where Vision was asking what is outside of Westview, and then you have to remember there's also that scene in the trailer, not even in the trailer, in the first trailer where Vision asks Agnes, uh, no, wait, no. Agnes asks Vision, "Am I dead?" No, no. Why would you think that? Because you are. And then she starts laughing like evilly. A lot of people think that Agnes has some sort of connection to Mephisto or Nightmare or maybe that, but because we have been seeing so much references to Mephisto, because in the Loki trailer, there is a reference to Mephisto. So and then Nightmare is most likely going to be the villain of Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness. So I don't know though. But big things happened. It was exciting. This episode finally did not look like a sitcom, and it actually looked like someone was watching a sitcom. And yeah, but this episode was really amazing, though. I liked it better because it actually gave us the reveal of what happened to Vision. I liked that because remember Wanda is because remember, Herb in the last episode, he says that Vision had no home. Well, not Vision. Wanda had no home, no people, no husband either. So I think what happened was Wanda came to Westview, and she basically turned the place upside down and pretty much made it her own. But yeah, so I think also in like another episode, Wanda is like gonna get captured. I have a feeling that she will be. Also, I think like Quicksilver might show up in WandaVision because you have to remember there was an audition leak where somebody was auditioning for one of Wanda's children and they were and one of the children mentioned that to be quiet because there was a uncle in the room and we know Vision has no relatives. So it has to be Quicksilver. So yeah. But so the first Marvel show to come out, and WandaVision was amazing. Episode 4 had actually a lot of stuff to deal with because now things are actually starting to turn around because it's not starting to become a sitcom. It's actually starting to turn into an Avengers movie. So yeah, because yeah, so This episode was amazing, and like and subscribe if you want to see more breakdowns like this. And I will be doing episode videos and theory videos for Falcon and the Winter Soldier because we still got so much to break down. Marvel's releasing new content again, and I will see you in the next video.